You know the feeling you plunged the Master Sword into the final boss? Watched the credits roll and felt that incredible wave of accomplishment. For decades, that's been the loop. But what happens after? Some Zelda games leave you in a world that barely acknowledges your victory, placing you right back on the doorstep of a boss you already beat. That moment after the credits is a crucial part of the experience, the final reward, yet it's one of the most inconsistent features in the entire franchise. So today, I'm settling the score. I'm ranking the post-game experience of nearly every major title in The Legend of Zelda, from the absolute worst to the undisputed best. And I'm not just talking about 100% completion, I'm talking about what the game gives you after the story is truly over. Does the world change? Are there new quests? Is there anything at all? So what counts as a post-game for this list? Simple. It's what happens after you defeat the final boss and watch the credits. Do you get to play in a Hyrule that's actually been saved? Does your save file acknowledge your triumph with new content? Or does it just give you a pat on the back and reset you to the moment right before you became a hero? New Game Plus and challenge modes count, but how much they add to the world matters. With that out of the way, let's begin the ranking. Starting at the very bottom, number 18, The Legend of Zelda: The Adventure of Link. Coming in the absolute bottom is the black sheep of the family, The Adventure of Link. This game is notoriously tough and a wild departure from the series formula. But its post-game, it's where it's disappointingly normal for its time. Once you defeat Dark Link and Awaken Zelda, the game just ends. You get a thank you, the credits roll, and that's it. No second quest, no new secrets, no reason to ever load that save file again. The reward for winning is turning off the NES. It's a relic of a time when just beating the game was the one and only goal, placing it squarely at the bottom. Coming in at number 17 is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This one might sting a little, because A Link to the Past is, for many, a perfect video game. It defined the Zelda formula for decades, but when it comes to the post-game, it's a total void. After you vanquish Ganon and watch one of the most satisfying credit sequences in gaming history, you're done. The game boots you back to the title screen, you load your save, and you're right outside Ganon's tower, as if your heroic deed never happened. The game does track how many times you beaten Ganon, which is a neat little counter, but it's the bare minimum. Your reward for saving Hyrule is simply the memory of having it done. For a game that perfected so much, the lack of any post-game content is a glaring hole. Number 16, The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Jumping forward a few generations, we get to Twilight Princess, a game with a massive scale and a dark, cinematic story that somehow has the exact same post-game philosophy as a SNES game. You fight through the epic final battle with Ganondorf, watch Midna incredibly emotional departure, and then credits. Reload your save, and you replace right back before the final battle, with zero acknowledgement that you already saved the world. Now, some might point to the Cave of Ordeals, a 50-floor challenge dungeon. But here's the thing, you can do that before you fight the final boss. It's a endgame content, sure, but it's not post-game content. For a game of its size, the complete lack of a post-story experience feels like a massive missed opportunity. Number 15, The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass. The DS titles were clever, using the touchscreen for pretty much everything. Phantom Hourglass was a charming sequel to The Wind Waker, but it suffers from the same problem as its console cousins. You beat Bellum, save Tetra, and watch a bittersweet ending where the whole adventure might have been a dream. It's a lovely conclusion, but once the credits are done, the game offers you nothing. Loading your save file puts you right back before the final boss fight. You keep sailing the Great Sea to collect everything you missed, but none of this is new content unlocked by your victory. It's another classic case of fantastic journey leading to a full stop. Number 14, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Here we have another phenomenal game that sadly lands in the bottom tier. A Link Between Worlds is a masterpiece of a game design. The story culminates in a fantastic twist involving Princess Hilda and Ravio. After you beat Yuga Ganon, you restore Loru's Triforce and return home a hero. But just like A Link to the Past, the game spiritually succeeds. It just ends there. When you reload, you're booted to your last save, typically right before the final castle. The world is just as it was before you saved it twice. Over. You can go hunt for the remaining Mayas, but again, this was all available before the final boss. The hero's final triumph is forever pending. Number 13, Ocarina of Time. This is the big one, Ocarina of Time. The game that revolutionized 3D gaming and is arguably the most iconic title in the series. Its post-game completely, utterly non-existent. After you deal the final blow to Ganon and get set back to your own time by Zelda, the story concludes. Loading your save file puts you right back in the Temple of Time moments before you challenge Ganondorf. There was no Master Quest unlocked in the original N64 version that came later. There are no new quests, no changes to Hyrule, nothing. The feeling of an empty, static world is especially jarring here, as players were so immersed in Hyrule's fate that seeing it unchanged after Ganon's defeat just felt wrong. Number 12, The Legend of Zelda: Spirit Tracks. Alright, we're starting to climb, but slowly. Spirit Tracks doesn't have a playable post-game world, but it does something special. The final sequence of this game is one of the best in the series, where you team up with Princess Zelda possessing a phantom to fight the Demon King, Malladus. It's a spectacular battle, and after the fight you get a long ending sequence showing the aftermath of your adventure. That ending feels like a reward in itself, providing real narrative satisfaction even if the gameplay is over. The game respects your victory enough to give you a proper send-off. Once those credits roll, that's really it. It ranks higher than the bottom tier purely because its ending feels more substantial than just getting kicked to the title screen. Number 11, The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. This is without a doubt the most controversial placement on this list. How can a game as deep as packed as Majora's Mask be so low? Well, it comes down to a strict definition of post-game. Majora's Mask is all about the journey, not the destination. Its content is designed to be completed within the 3-day cycle before you face the final boss. The ultimate reward for collecting every mask is the Fierce Deity's mask, which makes the final boss a cakewalk. But you get this before the fight. Once you defeat Majora, the game ends. You see the beautiful resolution at the Carnival of Time, then credits. Loading your file brings you back to the dawn of the first day. There is no post-Majora Termina to explore, so it's one of the most rewarding Zelda games for 100% completion. It technically has no post-game content at all. It's the ultimate pre-game game. Number 10, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Placing two of the biggest, most content-packed games ever this low on a ranking feels wrong. But hear me out. What happens when you beat Calamity Ganon or Ganondorf? You get a star on your save file, and the game resets you just before the fight. Ganon is still alive, the world is not safe, and many players were let down by the lack of a truly post-Calamity Hyrule. However, these games are in the absolute bottom tier for key reasons. Beating the final boss does unlock a few new things. In Breath of the Wild, Kilton offers you a new monster hunting side quest for Medals of Honor. The game also adds a completion percentage to your map, giving you a tangible new goal. You can also buy pictures of bosses for your compendium. Tears of the Kingdom does something very similar. Acknowledging your victory through the small systematic unlocks rather than a new changed world. So while you don't get to see a rebuilt Hyrule, the game gives you a new checklist of objectives. It's a modern, if slightly unfulfilling approach. Alright, we're at the halfway point and we already made some enemies. I know putting Breath of the Wild and Majora's Mask this low might have some of you ready to storm the comments section, and you absolutely should. I want to hear your personal rankings, but before you do, if you're enjoying this deep dive, consider subscribing to the channel. We go this in depth on the post games, on the Zelda series, on this video, and your support really does make these massive videos possible. Now let's get back to the ranking and move into the games that actually start to deliver a real post game. Number 9, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Kicking off the next tier is Skyward Sword. When you finish the game, you can start Hero Mode. This is a true new game plus. You start the story over, but you keep your collection of bugs and materials, which makes upgrading gear so much faster. Hero Mode also seriously amps up the difficulty. Enemies deal double damage, and you won't find hearts just lying around anymore. You have to rely on potions to survive. Plus, beating the Thunder Dragon's lightning round in Hero Mode unlocks a true boss rush. Look, being forced to replay the whole game is a big ask, but carrying over progress and unlocking a tougher challenge is a substantial reward. It doesn't continue your adventure, but it gives you a compelling reason to start a new one. Number 8, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. The Wind Waker does something very similar to Skyward Sword, but with a lot more charm. After beating the GameCube original, you can start a second quest. In this new file, Link wears his blue lobster pajamas for the entire adventure. More importantly, you start with the deluxe Picto box, and all the figurines you crafted for the Nintendo Gallery carry over, making that daunting collection quest much more manageable. Best of all, the ancient Hylian text is spoken by characters like Jabun is finally translated into English, revealing new story details and lore. It's a playful and rewarding reason to set sail all over again. Number 7, The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. This might be a surprise, but the multiplayer-focused Triforce Heroes actually has a respectable post-game. After you beat the main story, a ton of new challenges unlock. Den of Trials appears, offering a grueling 40-floor gauntlet for you and your friends. On top of that, bonus challenges get added to every single level, with strict conditions like half health, popping all balloons, or racing a brutal time limit. Completing these rewards with rare materials needed to craft the best outfits in the game. These added objectives essentially double the content and give you a huge reason to revisit every corner of the drop. Number 6, The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventure. Similar to Triforce Heroes, the GameCube's Four Swords Adventures offers a tangible reward for finishing the campaign once you beat Ganon. You unlock the Tower of Winds, a challenging bonus area designed to test your skills. But that's not all. Beating the game also lets you replay any stage you already completed. That might sound standard today, but it was a big deal at the time, encouraging you to replay levels to get better ranks and find all the Force Gems. The combination of a new tough area and the freedom to revisit past stages makes for a solid post-game experience. Number 5, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is where post-game content starts to get really creative, especially across its different versions. In every version, after you wake the Windfish, you can reload your save to keep exploring and find everything. But the remakes are where it's at. The DX version on Game Boy Color added the Color Dungeon, a brand new dungeon with color puzzles that rewards you with an attack or defense boost in Tunic. The Switch remake went even further with the Chamber Dungeons, letting you build and play your own dungeons, and in all versions, if you beat the game without a single death, you get a secret post-game credits seeing Marin's fate. It's a game that rewards you for playing more and playing better. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. This is the hidden gem of Zelda post-games. It's small, it's subtle, but it's perfect. For most of the Minish Cap, there's no sign of any post-game at all. However, after you beat Lottie and watch the credits, you can reload your completed save file. You're back before the final boss, but the game has now flagged your victory. If you travel back to the Goron cave, a new Goron has appeared, one who is available for a Kinstone fusion. That was impossible before. Fusing with him triggers a new side quest that leads you to Bigoron, who will grant you the Mirror Shield, the best shield in the game. It's a tiny addition, but it's a true post-game quest. New content leading to a unique item, only accessible after the story is finished. It's a small but deeply satisfying reward. Number 3. The Legend of Zelda. Here it is, the one that started it all. The original Legend of Zelda. When you finally defeat Ganon, you might think you're done, but you're not. The game hits you with a second quest, and this isn't just a simple hard mode. It's a complete remix of the entire game. Every single dungeon is in a new location. The layouts of those dungeons are completely different, with new puzzles and enemy placements. Items are hitting in new spots. It's basically a brand new, even harder adventure using the same overworld. This was revolutionary in 1986. Nintendo didn't have to do this, but they did. They effectively included a second game as a reward for beating the first, setting a standard that the series itself has rarely lived up to since. Number 2. The Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. The Oracle games for the Game Boy Color have what is perhaps the most unique and brilliantly executed post-game in the entire series. These two games were designed to be played in a specific order. Once you beat one, you get a long password. You then start the other game and enter that secret to begin a linked game. This isn't just a simple new quest. The story is altered. Characters from the first game make cameos. You get new items and find secrets that are impossible to find otherwise. But most importantly, after you beat the main boss of the second game, the story doesn't end. A new chapter begins revealing that the villains from both games were pawns in a plot by the evil witch Twin Rover to resurrect Ganon. This unlocks a new final dungeon and a true final boss fight against a mindless raging Ganon. It's a post-game that literally connects two entire games into one epic saga. It's a masterpiece of interconnected design. Number 1. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Wait, what? After putting it at number 10, how can Tears of the Kingdom also be number 1? The answer is simple. We have banned our own rules for this one. Because the true post-game of Tears in the Kingdom isn't what happens after you beat Ganondorf. The true post-game is everything you do after you finish the main story. But before you fight the final boss, here's the thing. The structure of this game is fundamentally different. The main quest, the regional phenomenon, finding Zelda, recovering the Master Sword, can be finished relatively quickly. Once that's done, the game essentially says, okay, Ganondorf is waiting. We'll get him whenever you're ready. And in that moment, the entirety of Hyrule becomes the post-game. This is when you dive into the depths, hunt all the light routes, find every last shrine, complete dozens of side adventures, discover every cave, and truly master Ultra Hand. The game is designed for the bulk of its content to be experienced in this pre-endgame state. Unlike Ocarina of Time's static world, Hyrule and Tears of the Kingdom is brimming with life and narrative threads that continue long after the main story is technically resolved. The fight against Ganondorf isn't the end of the game. It's the player's personal capstone to their own unique adventure. When you finally decide to walk into that final battle, it's because you decided you're done. You've had your post-game, it redefines the concept entirely, and for that revolutionary design it earns our top spot. So there you have it, a journey through the best and worst post-game experiences in the Zelda series. From the crushing disappointment of a simple "the end" screen in the games like A Link to the Past, to the revolutionary second quest of the NES original, and the brilliant linked saga of the Oracle games. Nintendo's philosophy on what it means to finish a game that clearly changed over the years. And while the modern open-world approach of Tears of the Kingdom offers endless things to do, there's still something special about the classic structured rewards found in the Minish Cap or or the NES original. Ultimately, the best post-game is one that respects your time and your victory, giving you one last satisfying reason to stay in a world you've spent so many hours saving. But that's just my ranking. The Zelda series is personal, and I know many of you will have wildly different opinions. What's your number one Zelda postgame? Is there a game you think I ranked completely wrong? Let me know your full list down in the comments below. I'll try to read every single one, and I'm genuinely curious to see how your list compares to mine. If you want more deep dives like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching.